Hello everybody, this is Ghost Hunter 385. I am back with more Warcraft 3, another topic and more commentary for everybody. But before we get into today's topic,
you have slaughtered my minions and defiled my sanctuary.
have at thee, foul knave!
By the wrath of the
What?
tides.
You seek to pass? Nay, shall you pass the Black Knight? Have at thee!
Your choice is made. The
It's just a
air you
flesh
breathe
wound.
now will be your
What?
last.
What do you mean? What do you mean, say this? Fine. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, and thou shalt pass
The
me.
nearby volcano erupted.
What?
This entire island has begun to sink.
I can still rip you out with my teeth. Get over here and let me do it.
The repairs are nearly
That's
done.
right, you run away, you pesky little weasel.
We're about to have company. Defend the ships at all
If anyone gets the reference for that, put it down in the comments, please. I would love to know that people know that reference. But anyway, let's get into today's topic. And today's topic is Valentine's Day. Now, before people sit there and say Valentine's Day, Ghost Hunter, what your situation is, why do you want to talk about Valentine's Day? Well, let's put something into context here. I have never liked Valentine's Day, even when I was married. Well, I still am technically married, but the point still stands. I never liked it when I was married, and I never liked it when I was younger. I viewed it as a waste of a holiday. And the worst part was, I didn't get the day off. Granted, it meant that my birthday was close, but that was about the only solace that I took with it. But anyway, what are the origins of Valentine's Day? Well, according to what most scholars know, it dates back to the days of Rome, where they talk about the festival of I'm probably gonna butcher this name, but Lepracurica, something like that. I'm pretty sure I botched it, but it goes back to that festival, and it wasn't even a festival for human fertility. It was more for livestock. In Roman days, they'd sacrifice animals, they'd do this, they'd do that, and they'd do some pretty nasty things. Like, who wants to get hit with the fresh skin of an animal? I know I wouldn't. But, that's part of the origins. And then, of course, Christianity came in, a few centuries later. Let's put this in simple terms. A few centuries later. And then a few centuries later, they made it a Christian holiday, where they celebrated courtly love, the love between his knight. Well, no. I need to correct myself there. It's the courtly love between a knight and his fair lady. Now, for those of you who don't understand what I mean, the best way to say this is, if you've seen A Knight's Tale, that's going to be your best example here. It's where the guy puts down his lance and says, "My lady, if you would please give me the blessing or the grace of your favor," and she ties the ribbon around the guy's lance. It's that kind of romantic knightly love, if you will, here. Well, that's the general idea. Now, was there actually a Saint Valentine? According to written in Christian dogma, there have been a few, and they all end up being executed, because this was the days where you have early Christianity, and not only are you dealing with early Christianity, you're dealing with the fights between the Christians and the pagans, and yeah, it was nice way to say this. There was a lot, let's just say there was a lot of red earth, to be polite here. And, you know, that's basically how we get to, you know, a quasi version of romantic love. Then eventually a poet right around 400, 500, somewhere between there, well, not BC, it'd be 80, my bad, AD,
Research complete.
and he wrote a poem that eventually got circulated. His name was like Jeffrey Carrera or something like that.
For honor.
And more or less his poem was kind of what sparked romantic love. And of course, Shakespeare plays a hand in this well, as in there's a reference to a Hamlet line where they talk about basically if a woman were to see the first man she sees on Valentine's Day, you know, that's her true love kind of thing. Throw in the Disney trope there. And, you know, from then on, it just kind of went down the line that Valentine's Day became about romance between men and women and blubbity, 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 blah. And, you know, I'm not going to sit here and knock people for having their beliefs, having their holidays, because I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not that kind of, what's the nicest way to put this? I'm not that kind of a-hole who would do that kind of thing to people, to ruin your holiday. I mean, if I could ruin a holiday to where no one bothered to celebrate it, you know, I might, you know, if I had a chance to do that, I would, I'm not gonna lie. That would be interesting to happen as a social experiment. But the point is that Valentine's Day started out as a festival of fertility or livestock. Now, I can sit here, put on the tinfoil hat for a minute and say, see, we're all livestock to the rich people who rule the world and blubbity, 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 blah. But, sadly, I don't think that's actually the case here. I think the holiday was changed to be more friendly to Christianity, but also to be more friendly to people, in a nutshell here. Now, why do I say it was changed to be nicer to people? Well, the simplest way to put it is who wants to more or less run around being hit with something, being made to laugh? You know, this is all compulsion, not that you actually wanted to do it. So, with that thought process in mind, you know, I will sit here and say that I do think that, you know, it was an improvement because instead of being compelled, you know, it kind of becomes more natural. You know, you want to do this kind of thing, if you know what I mean here. But, you know, with that in mind here, you know, the holiday technically nowadays has been completely perverted, because you have the people who are like, oh, I've got this, I've got that, I've got a girl who I have all the time in the world to spend with. Well, everybody else who doesn't have a significant other is just kind of left in the dirt, if you will, here. Now, I'm not going to... What's the nicest way to put this? I'm not going to harp on anyone who's single on Valentine's Day, because I was single on Valentine's Day for years, and I cared about that as much as I care for an annoying fly buzzing around my ear. Put that straight out there. But the thing that does bug me
Our town is under
is
attack.
the perversion of the holiday. Now, when I say perversion, pull your heads out of this, grab your hair and pull your heads out of your butt. I'm not talking about perversion. I'm talking about the perversion where something is twisted into what it's not supposed to be. The original point of the origin is a fertility festival, but the original point of Valentine's Day was courtly love, the love between a knight and his lady. And, you know, from my standpoint here, I think we should have kept it that way and not let it be twisted, perverted. You know, take your pick of word choice here. So with that being said, I think we should drop a lot of the candy, the, you know, all of the money stuff, and go back to basically what you would call a more kind of courtship for the day. You know, drop the money, drop all this, and, you know, properly court here. You know, that's my 2 cents, my suggestion here. You don't have to take it, you don't have to like it, it's just my suggestion. Now, for everybody else who feels bad for people who are single, don't feel bad for us. And the reason why I say do not feel bad for us, because in a lot of cases, well, not in a lot of cases, but especially in modern day right now, there are so many single guys right now who are not looking, they don't want anything. Before we even actually consider, and hear me out here, consider making this another holiday, an actually celebrated, proper holiday here,
I can do that.
we need to actually take the holiday and, you know, take it back to its roots.
Work complete.
But, you know,
yes.
we should also encourage more couplings, if you catch my drift, as in start getting people to date and stuff, you know, as a baseline here.
Yes. At last
Because
the end
with the
draws
way
near.
things are going,
Your
Valentine's Day is
deaths
going to be
are
one of
only the
those
beginning.
holidays that
Soon
is
all land
celebrated
dwellers will be
as,
entombed in a watery
oh,
grave.
if you actually have a woman who actually wants to be with you, then you celebrate. Beyond that, who cares? That's the way this is going to end up going. And you know what? I don't really care that it is going that way. Because as far as I'm concerned, in my own mental space here, you know, couldn't have happened to a nicer holiday.
Our town is under attack.
Now, that being said here, you know, if you want to celebrate this holiday, go ahead. I ain't going to tell you. I ain't going to stop you. However, let us take into consideration how the stigma of the holiday affects people. And how the stigma affects people is, oh, you'll find your person, you'll find somebody, when most guys have the attitude of, you know what,
don't know
whatever
exactly what the witch was talking about,
whatever
but I
women
do know
want,
that
I
our
don't
destiny
got it,
lies
and you know
elsewhere.
what, I'm
For
fine
now,
with that.
we set
I'll
sail
just
for
move on with my
Kalendor.
life and do whatever the heck I
That
want.
is where our future
I'll make
will
money, I'll
unfold.
do this, I'll do that, yada 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 yada. A waste of my time. I hate to be the guy who bursts this proverbial bubble, excuse me, but it's a cold hard fact. And you know what? It's all man-made. Sad to say. But in any case, this is Ghost Hunter 385 signing off. I will see everybody in the next video.